FW, and Ken, am I missing anybody? DAV, yeah, these organizations do a heck of a job, there's no doubt about it. When Veterans Day comes along or Memorial Day comes along, everybody's busy. You know, sometimes it's hard to even talk to Jim because he's got to organize, you know, guest speakers to help us out, and the Young Marines and the ROTC with Commander Cruz. So we recognize the Legion and the other organizations, but we sure thank the Marine Corps League 708. It's not because I'm a jarhead, it's because they work so hard to help us out. So this time I'd like to bring the Commandant of the Marine Corps League, Jim Bravaco.
Thank you. I want to wish us all a happy and safe Veterans Day from 708. I thank the Young Marines for showing up, ROTC, members of my staff. I have a couple of things last year when I spoke with you that I had accomplishments I wanted to make over the upcoming year. Well, I'm going to go over a few with you on some of the things the Marine Corps League does for veterans. I think last year I told you when I took over, I broke it down to 3 areas: veterans assistance, scholarship programs for the high schools, and affordable events for the community and the kids. Well, I'm going to bring you up to date on what happened here at 708 this past year. We took a large step forward in 2022. We stopped 3 veteran evictions. They were put on the street. We stepped in and we took care of it and got them back in their homes. We had 2 in wheelchairs that were evicted from their apartment. We stepped in, got them transportation, set them up in a hotel, got in touch with their family. In Wisconsin, they came down and picked them up. We had another veteran who went for an armored service job, passed the test. They told him he can't work there unless he supplies all the clothing and boots for the job. We stepped in, we paid for that. We pay bills to help veterans with their electric bill, their cable bill. It's a tough job. That's why I respect every one of you veterans here today. Sometimes the road coming home is a lot harder than the road that you served overseas. Not easy. This past year, we had a kid come across the trail, 3 years old, a cancer kid, fighting cancer. He's not going to make it. So what I instructed the organization to do is set up and make him an honorary member of the Marine Corps League. We had his family in and his relatives in. We did a call to arms. We brought them down the aisle. We awarded him Honorary Marine of the Year for Detachment 708. We'll help anybody that needs help. Not just the veterans, the people in the community that come in that door across the street. We step up to the plate if we can. We'll help them any way we can. The Veterans Assistance Program was part 1. I expanded it. It's now into maintenance to help veterans that have some problems with their home and they can't afford it. So we are setting up a program over there where we can help you with that also. The scholarship program over the past 2 years, we've given out $5,000 in scholarships to the community, the various high schools. Because of all of this past 2 months back, 3 months back, 708 was awarded Veterans Assistance of the Year Award from the Hernando Sun. The voters in the community, we came in second place to the K-9 Patriots, which is a national organization. But coming in second place for 708 was a proud honor for the organization. Even we sponsored a senior softball team this past year. Well, they went out and won a championship, and they're telling us because the Marine Corps sponsored them, it was the first year in 10 years that they ever won anything. What do we have going on at 708? Everybody knows we got the Queen of Hearts on Thursday nights, fish fry on Friday nights. Show me the money on Tuesday nights. But you don't know, every 6 weeks we give out $1,000. Saturday afternoons, I decided we're going to have an inflation fighter for the community, where we offer an adult meal the children eat for free. Wednesday nights, we do the same thing, 6 wings, french fries for $6. We're doing everything we can over there to make it better for the veterans and the children in the community. We're just warming up. We got a lot of new things in the works. You heard about Lexington and Concord, where we worked with the Heritage Society. We worked with the Florida Rangers. Well, that took on a national look throughout the Heritage Society. This year, we're looking at last week of April, we're going to have another run at this, but this time we're going to do Bunker Hill. And it'll be at the fairgrounds in the last week in April. So we're working on that also. We got the Christmas trail coming up. We're in the process of decorating it now. We got the Christmas party December 10th over there. Everybody points their fingers at Joe, but I'm going to tell you, I can't do this without my staff. My staff, my members, my elected officers in the organization have stepped up to the plate every time I've asked them to. They know where I'm coming from. I know what the veterans need. I've been on the bad side of it. I've been on the good side of it. But we're going to continue to move forward to help the community, help the kids, and help you veterans, which I have all the respect in the world for. If there's anything that 708 can do for you, please let us know. I got a staff over there that can solve any problem. And I'll tell you, I'm proud of them. I'm proud of you veterans out there. You put up your hands for 4 years, some of you longer. You gave it, no questions asked. You came home, and you know what? We got some issues at home, but you know what? We're here for you. I want to thank you very much for having us here tonight.
Jim, before you go, what happened over there for Halloween? You had a trail or something, a lot of people?
On Halloween, what I did was, they said it couldn't be done. Well, don't tell me that. They said that this Halloween trail may not work, it could be a waste of money. Well, don't tell me that. Well, this year, we've had over 10,000 visitors come through the Halloween trail. And they came from Orlando, they came from St. Pete, they came from all over the state of Florida. What we did is we added a ghost town, and I promoted the ghost town. Next year, we're adding Egypt. So, I'm looking for some mummies. Be careful.
Jim, you know, he tells you a lot about what he does, but if you don't know how it started, what he took over an empty bucket. And that was how long ago? How long ago? 6 years, 7 years?
Third year.
Third year. And he's not even a lieutenant colonel. So this guy's done a heck of a job, and his bucket's full now. And I know Ken Duncan and his wife are a big part. Ken was a big part of the Halloween stuff, I remember. Gil of the Veterans Committee come over, and I think they talked to you a lot about Toys for Tots. So our Veterans Committee worked with the 708 Marine Corps League as well. So again, big hand for Jim. He found those in our parking lot.
Sorry about that, Jim.
Now again, I mentioned Brad Bennett, our friend, and he came up and spoke a little bit about the Purple Hearts. And I want to bring Brad back up. Ladies and gentlemen, Brad Bennett.
Thank you again. This has been kind of a long program. I know a lot of you are getting tired, so I'm not going to rattle on and on, which my wife will be interested to know, since I do a 3-hour radio show every day and have been for, what, 26 years, I think. But I'm not going to make this that long. But I do want to add a couple of things. We are really privileged at 708 to have the kind of commandant that we have right now in Jim Bravoco. He didn't happen to mention that, he mentioned a little bit about Toys for Tots. A lot of you know about Toys for Tots. You've got a collection box back there. But I think last year we served children in Hernando County that would not have had a good Christmas. I think we served like 2,600 of them. 2,600 children got at least 3 gifts because of the generosity of people like you that dropped toys in the boxes, came in with checks that buy toys. We got a whole committee of people that work really hard for that. And I want to re-emphasize the fact that on Friday night, we don't have just a fish fry over there. We've got a brand new cook who is outstanding. My wife and I ate there last Friday night, and we had, what was it? It wasn't a chicken pot pie, it was shepherd's pie, and it was fantastic. And anybody is welcome to come in and eat in our chow hall, our mess hall. So,
I think it's meatloaf this Friday.
Meatloaf this Friday. So if you like good old comfort food, you'll find it there. One other thing I want to add about my granddaughter that I told you, she said she used to always tell people that, well, he's just slow. That's why I ended up with 2 Purple Hearts. I'm pretty proud of that granddaughter right now. I want to let you know that right now she's in her first year at West Point. So she's learned good lessons about the military and what that's all about. Now, I said I would take just a few minutes, and I will do just that, a few minutes, why veterans who have served in combat really need to have Veterans Day. Why Veterans Day is important to them. And for you to know that, you probably need to know a little of my background. First of all, you Army or Navy ROTC young Marines that are back there, would you please stand up? You guys and gals are what, 15, 16 years of age, something like that? Some 17 maybe? Okay, thank you. Sit down. The only reason I asked that is because I received my first Purple Heart when I was 18 years of age. I didn't know what to expect when I got to Vietnam. I had no idea. I'd seen John Wayne movies and things like that, and I thought, boy, this is going to be just like John Wayne. We're going to run through a hail of bullets. Nobody's going to get hurt. And we're going to run over the enemy and take the flag and go to the hill. Didn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. And I'll tell you this much. The reason I have to do something on every Veterans Day is because in May of 1967, I had the unfortunate experience, our unit had been out in the field for a number of months doing missions trying to hunt down the North Vietnamese. We weren't able to find them that much, but we came back. They brought us back to a place called Dong Ha, which was up in the northern quadrant of the DMZ area. And I thought we were going to get a couple of months of rest and relaxation there, but about a week into that, they called out 2 companies from our battalion. We had 4 companies in the battalion. They called out Alpha Company and Delta Company. They said, you guys are going to be taken by trucks from here up to a little place called Can Tien. And I thought, wait a minute, I've heard of that place before. That's not a nice place. That's not a good place to be. Well, it turned out there was a South Vietnamese Ranger battalion of about 600 South Vietnamese Rangers that had held that position for quite a while. And they were getting a little spooked. They were getting a little afraid, and they wanted to get out of there. So they told us, we're going to send you up there by truck convoy, and you're going to set up a perimeter up there. You 2 companies of Marines plus your headquarters units, mortars, couple of mortar platoons, and supply. So about 400 of us went over and took over that hill, took over Can Tien on, I think it was like May 5th. Well, on May 8th, and I didn't know this at the time, the Marine Corps is great with history. The Marine Corps knows everything about its own history, right? We know Iwo Jima, we know Tarawa, we know Saipan, we know all of those kinds of things. But we don't always research the enemy history. Well, if we had, we would have known that on May 8th, 10 years prior to this, the North Vietnamese overran the French at Dien Bien Phu. And they were looking for a way to punch the nose of the South Vietnamese, to let them know, we're coming for you too. We're coming back and we're going to take over the South Vietnam. Well, we didn't know it, but on May 8th, that we were surrounded by 2 regiments of North Vietnamese, about 2,700 hardcore North Vietnamese troops. 400 of us, 2,700 of them. And at about 3 o'clock in the morning, they fired off a flare, blew a whistle, and I thought, what the hell is this? Somebody's blowing a whistle at 3 o'clock in the morning? And looked up, and I could look down onto Delta Company's position that held the front wire area. And all I could see is it looked like an army of ants coming at Delta Company, out of the forest, out of the jungle. And they overran Delta Company's positions, got inside the wire for the first time ever in the Vietnam War, used flamethrowers to try to burn us out of holes. The cloud cover that night was so thick that we couldn't get air support in. We couldn't get any support at all. We burned out all our illumination rounds from our own mortars at about 4 o'clock in the morning, but we never left our positions. We stayed there. We fought. Those 400 of us that held that hill, 44 of them died that night. For 44 19 and 20-year-olds that didn't get to come home. They didn't get to have grandkids go to West Point. That's why I, as a veteran, it's important for me and all the other veterans in this room to remember that we had people that paid with their lives so that we could be here alive today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Brad. Earlier, Ken was very nice to have our veterans stand. I'd like to do that again. This has been a great event, but I would like to have all of our veterans and their spouses and children up there. Please stand up so we can say thank you again. Veterans. Thank you, thank you. Now, I thought about this a lot when I was with the program, and this is a special video, and I really, really, really want you to watch this. I think I found this at midnight. We sure don't want to take anything away from Veterans Day, and if it's Memorial Day, because that's a special day. But we have a lot of first responders, police officers, firemen, that are veterans. They're not only on the front line in the military, but when they come home, look at the views they're taking. So I want to play this special video. Mike, please.
Tomorrow all the things were gone. I've worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my family by my side. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget all of those who died, who gave their life for me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, from New York to LA, well, there's pride in every American's heart, and it's time we stand and say, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget all of those who died, who gave their life for me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
At first, I didn't know if that was going to be appropriate for today. Ladies and gentlemen, again, an important part of our program is our music airs. And Sandy, being the leader, put your hand up. And I want a big thanks to these music airs, and they're going to do a song that they've rehearsed, We Remember, the music airs. Thank you, music airs. You're going to hear them once more before we leave. What I'd like to do now is BCPO color guard. Please come up by your flags. Leroy? Jack? We built this BCPO color guard and honor guard. Be honest with you, I always get mixed up, but I want to thank the BCPO color guard and their spouses, and we've tried to make this an important part. At this time, BCPO color guard, retire colors. Or who? Thank you again, BCPO color guard. We're going to leave the Marine Corps flag up here because I got all these Marines here. And my legs are tired. I also want to not forget, before I bring the ROTC, the Men's Club, the Ladies Club, the Veterans Organization, and the Veterans Committee, Print Shack, Pine Brook Pharmacy. Those are your hot dogs and donuts. And thank Ken for stepping in as Vice President of our board to help us out. And at this time, ROTC, retire colors. How about a round of applause for the Spring Hill Central High ROTC. Another special thanks. Now, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated after we're done. We have young Marines and others that are going to serve your hot dogs, chips, beer and pop. Oh, mistake, pop and beer to your table. So sit, relax. Take the pause if you have to, but the young Marines, we want to thank them for coming. But at this time, I'd like to have Jim Bravacco, Marine Corps League 708, and Ken Duncan come forward, please. Jim, for all you do, this is not near enough, but this is an award from Brookridge Entertainment, which is a big part of your BCO community, and the BCO from the board of the BCPO and our residents. Jim, just a short and small thank you for all you do. Commander Cruz, front and center, sir. I have to serve this gentleman. This is the guy, between Jim and Commander Cruz and his staff, they are so helpful in making these things happen that it surprised me. They are so helpful. On behalf of the Brookridge Entertainment and Brookridge community, with Ken and all of us here, a small token of a thank you with an award. And for the information, we're donating $250 to each of them, which is a small part, but to help them out. I've got an earpiece in here, you don't know that. And they're telling me when the hot dogs are done, so I'm kind of doing this. I don't have an earpiece. If it was, it'd be a hearing aid. Now, once again, I'd like to bring on the music airs, and then we'll have a following CD. So with the music airs, at this point, God Bless America. Please enjoy.
Everyone sing with us.
Everybody sing with us. One last thank you for all of these fine gentlemen and ladies for supporting us from the Marine Corps League 708. I want to thank Peggy Christie, Gil, the Veterans Committee, Ken Duncan for stepping up, and everybody for coming. And ladies and gentlemen, Mike, if you please stand, Mike's going to play a little video or a little CD for us. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please enjoy the hot dogs, all American hot dogs.